All right, I've got a question for you. Take a trip down memory lane with me for a sec. Remember MySpace? I mean, for a hot minute there, it wasn't a social network, it was the social network. It was basically the internet for a lot of us. This absolute giant that seemed like it could never, ever fail. So, what went wrong?
And just to put this into perspective, we're talking about some serious money. Back in 2005, News Corp snapped up MySpace for a whopping $580 million. Can you imagine? They thought they were buying the future. And for a while, they were right. This was the absolute peak. And then, it all came crashing down. And what's just wild is how fast it happened. Think about this. 2006, it's the #1 most visited website in the entire US. Yeah, bigger than Google at the time. Fast forward just 5 years, and they're bleeding users, losing 10 million people in a single month. And then the final insult, right? The nail in the coffin. In 2019, they managed to accidentally delete 12 years of everyone's stuff. Poof, gone.
You know, this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. A former exec basically admitted, "We thought we were too big to fail." It's that classic trap of complacency, isn't it? They got comfortable. They figured their users were stuck with them, that they had nowhere else to go. So they just stopped trying, stopped listening, stopped innovating. Okay, so why are we talking about some ancient social media site? Because this is where it gets really important for you. See, the story of MySpace isn't just some funny internet history lesson. It's a huge, flashing warning sign. And the scary part is, countless businesses out there are making the exact same mistakes right now. That same complacency, those same bad habits, they're slowly eating away at businesses from the inside out.
So what was the big, fatal flaw? What's the mistake we're talking about? Well, it boils down to 2 words: user experience. That's it. MySpace completely forgot about the actual people using their site. They made it a total nightmare to navigate right at the exact moment their competition, yeah, you know who, was making everything super clean, super simple, and super easy.
Oh man, you remember this, right? Landing on someone's MySpace page was just an attack on your senses. You'd get blasted with some song you couldn't turn off, blinded by glittery GIFs, and the layouts were so chaotic you couldn't even find the person's name. It was just a mess, and people got sick of it, fast.
And this right here, this shows the 2 paths perfectly. On the left, you've got the MySpace way, total clutter, total chaos. But on the right, that's the modern way. This is the stuff that a company like Interglobal focuses on. They help businesses completely avoid that messy trap. So instead of confusing layouts, you get a design that's actually built to get you customers. Instead of auto-playing music, you get a clean, simple interface. The goal isn't to be loud, the goal is to be clear and make it ridiculously easy for a customer to get in touch. So let me ask you a tough question. And be honest with yourself. When you look at that comparison, does your company's website feel a little too much like that column on the left? I mean, really, is it a breeze for a new customer to use, or is it kind of a digital junk drawer of old info and distractions? So let's really spell it out. These are the 5 big ones, the mistakes that literally took down a digital empire, and they're the same traps that local businesses fall into every single day. First, completely ignoring the user experience. Second, getting lazy and complacent once you're on top. Third, forgetting that almost everyone is on their phone. Fourth, losing sight of what you're actually supposed to be providing. And finally, and this is a big one, completely underestimating your competition.
All right, time for a little reality check. Because here's the thing. MySpace didn't just explode and disappear one day. It was a slow fade. You know, like a death by 1,000 cuts. And that's exactly how it happens for businesses. They become digital ghosts without even realizing it, until the phone stops ringing.
So, do any of these sound familiar? Maybe you've noticed fewer people just walking in the door. Or worse, you get calls from people asking, "Hey, are you guys still open?" because their online presence looks abandoned. Maybe your last online review is from last year, or the year before. Or, and this one stings, you Google your own service, and your competitors are all listed above you. Look, these aren't just little annoyances, they're huge red flags.
Okay, here it is, the million-dollar question. I want you to really think about this. If a brand new customer, someone who knows nothing about you, pulls out their phone right now and searches for what you do, would your online presence, your whole digital storefront, make them say, "Yep, this is the one"? Or would they take one look and just scroll on to the next guy? All right, I know that all sounds a little doom and gloom. That was the alarm bell ringing. But here is the genuinely good news. Fixing this isn't like trying to turn around a giant sinking ship like MySpace.
You can actually fight back against this whole digital ghost thing, and you can do it for free with just a few minutes of your time each week. It's not about having a huge marketing budget, it's just about being consistent.
So here's the game plan. It's a super simple weekly checklist for your Google Business Profile or GBP. Seriously, think of this as your new digital front door. Number 1, just check your hours. Make sure they're right, especially for holidays. 2, post a quick update. A photo of the team, a special you're running, anything. 3, respond to all your reviews, the good and the bad. It shows you're actually there and you care. And 4, add some fresh photos. It's that easy.
And I'm not kidding. We are talking about maybe 15 minutes a week. Tops. That is literally less time than it takes to fall down a TikTok rabbit hole watching cat videos. But the payback for your business? It's massive. This is the absolute definition of working smarter, not harder.
Which brings us to the bottom line, the final choice. See, MySpace's problem wasn't really about the code or the servers. It was about their mindset. They just stopped adapting. They got arrogant and assumed that what worked yesterday would just keep working forever. And that right there, that's the exact same choice every single business owner has to make today.
And really, the two paths forward couldn't be clearer. Option 1 is the MySpace path. You know, do nothing, cross your fingers, and hope that word of mouth is enough while you watch potential customers march right over to your competitors who are easier to find online. It's that slow fade into becoming obsolete. Or there's option 2, the modern path. You claim your digital territory. You spend those 15 minutes a week. You stay visible, you stay engaged, and you stay relevant for the people who are actively looking for you right now.
Look, MySpace became a cautionary tale for one simple reason. They stopped caring about their users while their competition became obsessed with them. Today, your online presence is your user experience. It's the first impression. It's the new handshake. So the only question left is, what are you going to do? Are you going to adapt, or are you going to risk becoming the next Remember Them story? It's your call.